Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate, and to another edition of everyone's favourite WWE and wrestling show in general, to be honest, Monday Night Raw. I mean, it's just that time of the week. Monday night, everyone just can't wait for this brilliant wrestling show where great stuff happens, so let's get straight into it. The show kicked off with Braun and Drew McIntyre backstage arguing. Braun said he wants to take on TBar and Mason to a one handicap match, and he did just that. Strowman kicked things off with TBar in the ring and tossed him around before eventually TBar and Mace eventually managed to get in control, and they were disqualified for beating him up a bit too much. Drew McIntyre rushed to the ring to help him out, and then after the commercial break we got a tag team match. Who bloody saw that coming? Drew went for a clothesline at ringside but managed to take Braun out as it got to the latter stages. TBar eventually beat the count while McIntyre missed it after he was looking confused, and that was the end of the segment. 4 out of 10. Just contrived awful bollocks. But anyway, next up on Raw, Miz TV and Miz and Morrison were with Jackson Ryker and Elias, and they were singing Hey Hey Ho Ho before Damian Priest came out and interrupted with the New Day, and we got straight into a 6-man tag team match. Elias was in the ring with Woods early on, and tags were made before the Miz took a double team from the New Day. Priest tagged in while Miz was on the back foot before Woods tagged in and went for a dive, but Elias caught him with a symphony. On Raw, Woods was saved by Priest. An inside cradle from Woods saw him roll out Riker for the win. I'll give it 4 out of 10. Just more like, where's all of this alliances between Damian Priest and New Day and Elias and The Miz and Morrison and Miz are now friends? Honestly, it's just ridiculous. Next up on Raw, we were backstage with Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair and Sonya came down to the ring. Charlotte made a public apology and said that she was not going to do it again, and then she was just reinstated after a 1-week suspension. She's got set up with a match with Mandy Rose later on. Adam Pearce wasn't happy, neither would I be if a star can just come back after 1 week. Oh, Jesus Christ, this company. Before Drew McIntyre asked Adam Pearce for a match with Braun earlier on the night, he agreed. Lashley wasn't very happy that if Braun won it would become a triple threat match. And then Sheamus did an open challenge. Humberto came out, but Humberto managed to beat up Sheamus early on, and that was basically it. Lashley came down to the ring next and said he would not be happy if he lost the title in a triple threat match. He promised to avert his business interest in a match between Drew and Braun tonight. Next up, Randy Orton and Riddle formed an unlikely alliance. How will they coexist? Randy said he earned Riddle's respect before we moved on to a match after MVP and Braun Strowman had a bit of face-to-face backstage. Randy Orton and Riddle versus the former Hurt Business, Benjamin and Alexander. Riddle started the match strong before Cedric was back in. Riddle made the tag, however, and Orton took control. Cedric went for a leap in midair before Randy Orton managed to get the RKO, and Riddle got the floating bow for the win. 5 out of 10, just so random. But anyway, next up it was Asuka, Lana and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Ripley trapped Lana in a submission early on before Nia got the tag and it kind of went downhill. A Samoan drop did hit Asuka, and that allowed Nia to get back on top before Lana tagged Naomi in just before she was planted with the Riptide. Ripley fought off Lana's offense and hit her with the finisher on Raw to get the win. 4 out of 10. Ripley's now a heel, that's all I've got to say. But anyway, Sonya Deville told Mandy and Dana off for interfering in the match. She then told Mandy she had to play Sheamus Charlotte. Alexa Bliss was backstage on Raw, and she was going on about Lily thinking dark thoughts. Alexa declared that it was time Lily played with me and the rest of the WWE universe, and then laughed like a maniac before we got Charlotte Flair versus Mandy Rose. Mandy managed to sneak in a cover early on in Raw, but Charlotte reversed it easily. Rose, however, was in control before Charlotte got a near fall and started arguing with the ref before nearly getting rolled up. Charlotte managed to hit natural selection twice for the win. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I suppose it was okay, but it's just weird. Then it was main event time. Drew was hit with a shoulder tackle before taking Braun down early on, before the former WWE champ got in control. But anyway, Bobby Lashley came down to the ring. He distracted both men. Braun got a number of near falls before Drew blocked his chops and got the Glasgow kiss in. Drew McIntyre hit a spinebuster, but Strowman managed to kick out. Strowman countered the butterfly DDT before setting Drew up on the top rope before hitting a huge suplex for a near fall. Braun got the champ on the ropes and eventually was in control before there was distractions from MVP and TBar, but it didn't go to plan because it let Braun get the running power slam, and it's now a triple threat match. 6 out of 10, I suppose. It was a decent match, and kind of having Braun in there is another dimension instead of just the same old stuff once again. Overall this week, Raw gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Not another great Raw, to be honest. The main event wasn't bad, which kind of increased my thoughts on the show a little bit. But except for that, once again, it was just another drab episode of Raw, where, let's face it, quite a lot of it did not make sense. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description below, for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.